Hello everyone, I hope today finds you well. This video is going to be different than my usual uploads, so I hope you enjoy. But before we dive in, please remember to like the video and subscribe to my channel. Now, without further ado, let's begin. So I did a little anteing today, and I wasn't finding much until I looked in this log, and found a Camponotus subbarbatus queen. This is the only footage I got before catching her, not great, I know. Anyway, my first thought was that I could try to introduce her to my other queens who were founding together in a test tube setup. Seemed like a good idea, right? It went fine for the other two, so let's try a third. Now, before we go any further, I did know that these queens were close to finishing the founding process, so they could be less likely to accept further queens. However, I figured that it wouldn't be a big deal, and I would be closely monitoring them in case anything went wrong, so I could swoop in and remove the new queen if needed. Before moving them, I added some sugar water to the original queen's tube, with the hopes it would calm them down a little, as well as give a boost to the new queen. She calmed down at the end of the tube and drank some sugar water. One of the queens came over for a little check, but quickly went back to their end of the tube. After waiting some more minutes, our new queen decided to introduce herself more formally. Upon walking over, they seemed to do okay. The new queen raised her abdomen, which could be a threat response, but quickly lowered it. She dropped her egg as they continued to talk. There seemed to be some minor mandible-related aggression, but this was similar to what happened when I first introduced the original pair, so I didn't do anything. One of the original queens jumped at the new one, scaring her off. She dusted herself off and sat at the end of the tube. The aggressive queen investigated a little, but retreated quickly. I wasn't sure what to do at this point as the aggression was higher than last time, but I still had hope. I decided to push the queens and the sugar water closer together, hoping to calm the original queens down a little. However, I think this was a mistake as it also forced the other queen closer. Eventually, the aggressive queen made a move on the sugar water and took a good sip. The new queen seemed to get curious as it wasn't long before she began to move closer. There was an initial jump as both queens backed off and then seemed to go in for diplomacy, or so I hoped. They appeared to be starting to get more aggressive, but again, I had found this normal when introducing new queens, so I didn't act in hopes they would relax. They calmed for a second as the aggressive queen went back to drinking. As they both seemed relaxed, I thought they had come to an agreement. I had my hopes restored momentarily until the original queen began to bite at the new queen's head. This continued as the conflict escalated further, with the original queen latching onto the new queen's mandibles, seemingly telling her to leave. As the new queen was completely backed into a corner, she raised her gaster to squirt the aggressor with formic acid. The original queen shortly followed. I soon realized this wasn't going to work out, and, as you can see here, I panicked to separate the queens. They continued to fight even after I tapped the tube, so I opened it up and dragged the new queen out, dumping her into a safe box. Here she is safe and sound. I quickly prepared a test tube setup for her and moved her in. She was losing her mind at first, but this is to be expected. Upon checking the original two queens, they seemed fine. I guess it's too late to introduce new queens to them. Well, unfortunately, that's the end result of this video, but at least none of the queens were injured. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching, and have a good one.